Good evening, everyone. My name is Jen, and I am the founder of Always Furever, and this is our Operation Be Brave nightly check-in. If you are new to our page, this is really just a way for you to get to know me, to get to know behind the scenes stuff, really anything and everything we talk about. Nothing is off the table, and it's just a way for all of us to be on this journey together, because I think it's, first of all, none of this happens without all of your love and support. And second of all, we're all in this life to learn and to grow and to share our experiences. So thank you for following, and thanks for sharing just a little bit of your Saturday evening with me and my hooligans here. I guess let's talk about Mikhail really quickly. I spent the afternoon with him. And first of all, Julie, our medical coordinator, has stopped by to see him every single day since he came into our care, and he will be going home with her on Monday. Now, he is available for adoption, but obviously he can't even go to a foster until he is able to, until he's significantly more stable. They do this every time I jump on a live. This is Adoptable Louie. This is Alumni Hippopotamus C. There's Lena behind me right there. There's a cat wandering around here. Julie has been a vet tech for decades. Her medical care and knowledge is phenomenal, and there's no one better for him to go to. He is still losing weight. I try to watch the comments on it and help answer any questions. They're doing the refeeding. He still has the feeding tube in his neck. That's going to help because he has been nauseous lately, and he had some pretty two nutballs. Had some diarrhea earlier and nausea. This is how he plays. He's about to sound like a hyena very soon, and he's going to get kicked off. You got kicked off. You did. So his tummy's upset. I mean, imagine somebody opening up your sternum all the way down and having to digest your food, all that extra work, and he is walking more, so he's burning more calories versus laying around. Guys, he came in at about 42 pounds. He should be 90 pounds. And if you're not familiar with his story, I think I have photos somewhere. Mikhail was starved, and he was brought into Wichita Animal Shelter on a Friday afternoon at 4:17 p.m. That's when his intake took place. Supposedly, the Kansas Humane Society vet, who is responsible for, who's paid by the city contractually on an annual basis to review all of the animals that come in medically, as well as assess behaviorally to determine if they want to take a dog or cat into their care. But ultimately, they're medically responsible to determine how an animal is. And supposedly, two of their vets looked at Mikhail and left him there. They said he was stable. For those that have followed his journey, he actually had a stomach full of garbage. Trash can, wires, potato, like he literally just ate a chunk of garbage. And with all that obstruction in his stomach, he laid at Wichita Animal Shelter for 3 days, suffering and dying. And we are not allowed to pull animals from Wichita Animal Shelter because Kansas Humane Society has an agreement that a rescue or shelter must sign that says they will not come on social media or go in any other public forum and say anything negative or derogatory about them, or say that they are a kill shelter, Wichita Animal Shelter or KHS. This is Kansas Humane Society of Wichita's agreement. And if you don't sign that, then you cannot legally, they will not transfer an animal to you to save a life. So we were not even allowed to pull Mikhail. We didn't even know he was there. Another rescue that signed that agreement reached out to us and asked us for help once they saw him on Monday. So for 3 days he laid there without any medical care. I think they said they put him on a refeeding program, but if you have an obstruction in your stomach, there's a photo of him. Go back to the original intake photo and look at his photo. It's a bowl of food with a dog that looks dead, laying in his feces. And that's what they said a vet looked at and called him stable. So I share all this again, not because it's blame and shame, because we cannot forget. We have to keep talking until something changes. So as Mikhail's journey continues and he progresses, remember the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people that were praying for one more moment for this dog. Somebody else looked past and didn't care. And all the love and all the effort and all the funds we have donated to just simply give him a chance to try and live. This is a 2-year-old dog that lay dying for 3 days, suffering. And multiple people walked past him at Wichita Animal Shelter, and the Kansas Humane Society vet looked at that dog, they are saying twice, and left him. Something has to change. So if you followed his journey, he's got his own site now. We got him on a webpage where you can see every update, but scroll all the way back. Go back to the original post. Look at that dog. Look at the photo of the dog they left there dying. That's Mikhail. That's all the dogs and cats that we don't get to see because no photos and no videos are allowed in that shelter. I'm just going to ask you one more time, why? Why is the public kept out? Why are rescues kept out? Why are we told we have to be silent to save a life when the only voice they have is our voice? So something needs to change, and it's up to me and you to find a way to do that. So write your city councilman, write the city manager, write the mayor, reach out. Don't be afraid. It's just an email. Share your heart. Lead with love. And then you will put your head on your pillow tonight and know that you did something for the animals that no one else is speaking up about. So I share that because it's important to remember his journey. There are so many others that we don't even know about there. But with respect to Mikhail, just honestly spending the time with him. I know rest is the most healing thing when you've gone through a trauma and surgery. So he is getting plenty of rest, and that's why he's going to be in the best care with Julie, because it'll be quiet, he'll be cared for, and he will be on the road to recovery. It was so cute when we were talking to the team at the doctor's office today, and she shared the story about how they took the catheter out, so he's peeing on his own, but when the muscle has a catheter, and I've never obviously had that, she said that when it's in that long and then you take it out, it's like muscle memory is sometimes slow to pick up. Like he knew he had to pee, but the instant he knows he has to pee, he just starts peeing. So but when they got him outside and he got on the grass, he knew to pee. So it was like a little moment of like pride, whatever, little beautiful little glare in his eye. And then he saw a squirrel, and she tells this story so much better than I do, but his eyes lit up and he kind of perked up, and you could see like the little tension in his muscle. And then he looked up at them and he thought, did you see that squirrel too? And it was like, hey, this guy actually is really a dog, and he's getting to be a dog, and he's getting to be in the grass, and he's noticing a squirrel. And it's all those little things that make, God, this week and a half of anxiety and stress and worry and prayer and hope and faith so worth it. And we do that not just for Mikhail, but for every single animal in our care. We love them like they're our own. And why can't every shelter do that? You know, I totally recognize the risks that are prevalent in a shelter. Think about all these strays. There's so many unknowns, but what is the difference between, there is a difference between someone that greets an animal with kindness versus someone that greets an animal with anger and fear. I get there's unknowns, I get there's risks, but everything is energy, and how you approach a dog or a cat, they're gonna feel it. And if you go to them with love, sometimes it's okay to be afraid. I mean, I will totally admit there are some dogs that totally scare me. Usually they're this big and they're usually Chihuahua. But you respect that, and you can protect yourself and you can protect the animal by understanding animal behavior. So when you have policemen in a shelter, that are not trained in animal behavior, psychology, or anything. And they're handling all these animals. Of course they're going to deem dogs dangerous because of fear, because of cowering, because of aggression, because if they're going in afraid and angry and with a catch pole that is super, super scary, and sometimes dogs can be scared of uniforms or hats. Like, there are a ton of different facts and circumstances that all should be factored in, but they're not. Because shelters run by police are exactly that. Policemen doing what rescues or animal behaviorists or shelter workers should do, that are trained to do, that are the best fit to do, and are kept out from doing. And so when you say this is the way things have always been, shelters are overrun, they're underpaid, they're overworked, there's not enough employees, those are excuses. Those are excuses that everyone in society has accepted and said, this is the way it's always been, so I'm going to sleep at night because I can't change it. But here's the thing, we can't. Because there's someone out there willing to be the change. And that's not just us, that's Beauties and Beasts, that's every other rescue that is begging to be let in to help. Because so you want to say, what's one of the things that I can do in a shelter? Let's say you're not in Wichita, because it probably won't let you in, because they won't let you take pictures. If there's a shelter by you, go in and take photos. I know it's going to break your heart. I know it, because you're not going to be able to take every single animal home. But if you put it on social media, if you put it on Lost and Found, look at the Wichita Lost and Found group. There's like 30,000 members of it, run by phenomenal citizens, getting the word out there. Share their photos, share their stories, be their voice. You never know whose heart you're going to touch with one single photo. And that's what we do every day. We share our love for the animals, and we hope that someone out there connects and is the right family and fit for one of the dogs or cats in our care. Because it's not about just slapping a fee on a dog or cat and throwing them in any home. It's the right home, it's the right family, and it's the right fit for both the animal and the family. And that's why we have sanctuary in our name, because it's not about movement, it's not about space, it's about love, it's about commitment. It's about, these are souls. And if you truly view them as souls, then you fight for every soul. And every soul has value. So, any update on Dwight or JJ? Yeah, so JJ's doing great. He is still at the vet. He is adopted. We're finishing off the medical care. Guys, his family posts on our alumni page. So check out the alumni page. I think she posted last week. It's amazing what was. I've got pictures of this too. We wouldn't do this another night. His entire back was burned from the top of his head down to his tail, an entire width. And now it's like literally a sliver because most of it is healed. So it's incredible. One other thing, what can we do when I was talking about shelters? Save the date, October 18th, and come out with us to Wichita. We'll be at City Hall, probably around 2-ish. I'm not sure about the time yet, but we'll get it posted. And we're going to walk together, and we're going to place 1,500 collars, dog and cat collars, on the steps of City Hall. And we'll have a moment of silence. And that's for every single animal that was euthanized at Wichita Animal Shelter this year. Just up to right now. Sadly, it will probably be more in October. But hold one collar in your hand. I should have grabbed a collar. Hold one collar in your hand. Look at your dog's collar around their neck right now, or your cat's. That was around someone's animal. And if not someone, God's animals. And it was, life was taken without anyone caring and without anyone trying. Because Kansas Humane Society deemed them unadoptable and did not publicly promote them or let willing rescues in. So am I placing the blame on them? Not 100%, because the city has allowed this and they've known about it, and we have begged to be let in. And the only way change will ever happen is if we work together. If we say, the past is in the past, let's find a way. Let's change it right now, right now. Okay, what's an update on Daly, the leg injury? Good question. Oh God, guys, if you have seen that photo, she's in Oklahoma City. They did reach out that Friday night, and we couldn't get her out until this morning. And also, shame on me, I missed our monthly volunteer call. It's normally the first Saturday of every month. We're going to do it next Saturday, so we'll have updates on that. So appreciate you guys. It's been a whirlwind of 2 weeks. But daily, we rushed her to Blue Pearl. I think Debbie, you're the Freedom Driver. Thank you to the phenomenal Freedom Drivers who just drop everything to save a life. You guys are amazing. You are not unnoticed. You are appreciated. Really, truly heroes. So, side note on that, she is at Blue Pearl. We have to get her stable. Ultimately, she's pretty healthy right now. However, there is the worry that, oh gosh, it's late. I'm going to goof this medical term up. Not septic, necrotic. And basically, they're worried the leg could die and it couldn't heal. The leg has to be amputated. How far up? That's the concern. It might have to take the whole shoulder off too. They do believe she was hit by a car. It's not a dog fight, and guys, it's been a while. So, but they also said, yep, that's it. Thank you, Rachel. I apparently don't know how to say it. So here's the worry though, that if it is that, it might not be able to heal depending on what exactly is dying, the muscle inside of her. So we're going to get her, she's actually really healthy, but she's not even stable enough to do surgery right now. And there isn't a surgeon there on the weekend. So what we're going to do, she should get her health certificate on Monday, and we're going to bring her up here to Dr. Millard's team, hopefully, just because of the skill of the soft surgeon tissue, and we want her in the best hands. And so please keep the prayers coming on her. Ultimately, she is stable right now, so that's very good. And all she's been through, they said she is incredibly sweet. So she is going to be an amputee, so it will be her front leg. I think it's her left, I'm not sure. But that was like my Libby girl, and she lived 8 years of her life on 3 legs. And when I was contemplating to take her leg, a couple surgeons said, let her go. You know, dogs can't live with, you know, she had chondrosarcoma, which is a form of bone cancer, the slower version of osteosarcoma. And they said, oh, just let her live her life. Don't let her go through that pain. And the one surgeon that actually found that said, you know, God gave dogs 4 legs so he could take back 1 and they could live the rest of their life happy. And I loved that surgeon. I believed in him, and I had 8 more years with Libby. She lost her leg at 6 years old, and she lived to be 14. And she was one of my greatest loves, who taught me what it's like to wake up every day and find hope, even when sometimes it doesn't feel like there's any. And the world can be very, very dark. And it's easy to get lost and to be overwhelmed, especially in rescue. And you know what? Not even especially in rescue, in everything. It's easy to go down the path of, what are we doing? Is it the best for the animals? Is it best for our people? And I think that when you just put a dog on your lap, they're so good to help you not even forget, but understand that no matter what's going on around us in this crazy, chaotic, insane, amazing world, that everything can just melt away, and you can put a dog in your lap and somehow breathe again. Even when life is so stressful and you don't know what's going on and there's a million problems, and none of them can be solved this evening or even tomorrow morning. But oh my God, you know, even if you can't have an animal in your life, go to a shelter and just love them for 5 minutes. It's not only going to help your heart, but it's going to bring them so much joy. And every single one around me is an animal somebody else threw away. So I happen to love the throwaways and the ones that just about everybody looks past. So I know I say this all the time, I'm a broken record, but that's what we believe. That's who we are. We believe all souls matter. And just a very beautiful hippopotamus you are. So I got lost. When I start talking to a dog, you guys, I can't keep a conversation. I just look at them and I love them, and then everything goes out the window. So we've got our Oz match going on. It is the entire month of September, but don't wait on that. Your donations are doubled, and what a phenomenal way to help us raise $100,000. Now, dollar for dollar, it will be matched up to $50,000, but we got to do the work on that. And Osawatomie, again, another beautiful story of never giving up, and on a city that honestly a lot of the people that led it did not care that the shelter was a kill shelter. And that's a really hard fight to fight sometimes. But when you come together and you just, number one, you just never quit. So if you're just that annoying person that says, I'm never gonna stop finding a way to make it better. And that's what we did. And I can't say that I did everything right. I probably did everything wrong, but it was a learning experience. And from that, we take what we did yesterday to make today better and to build a better tomorrow. So I think that's all the updates for tonight that I had. We could use some volunteers at Osawatomie tomorrow evening. So if you are out in that area, it's such a great way to just walk dogs, enjoy this incredibly beautiful cooler weather, and fill your heart with love. So thanks for joining me on Saturday evening. Is it Saturday? It is. And I hope you have a great night. Thanks, guys.